Types of rotations. So what is a rotation? We know that rotation is the production period. That means the time taken from planting to the final harvesting of a forest stand is known as rotation. So the time period that is elapsing between planting and its final harvest is known as rotation. So there are different types of rotations that are being practiced in forestry. That is what we are I am going to talk about in this lecture. So altogether there are around six types of rotation. Physical rotation is there, silvicultural rotation is there, then technical rotation, rotation of maximum volume production, rotation of highest income, and financial rotation. So all these rotations are applicable to different as is different from one another and is applicable also in different sets of situations. So let us see what are the different types of rotation one by one. So physical rotation. So every tree has got a what is a lifespan, and physical rotation is a type of rotation which is linked with the lifespan of the tree. So it is a rotation which coincides with the natural lease of life of a species on a given site. That means how long that particular species is going to be alive and very vigorous there. So that is what is called as physical rotation. This rotation is applicable only in the case of protection and amenity forests, parklands, and in some case roadside avenues. So it is a very variable, fairly long, and also and indefinite. You cannot say that what is going to be the physical rotation because it depends on how long the particular species, in this case the tree, can pull along. So the length of its life decides its physical rotation. Now silvicultural rotation again is another a variant of the physical rotation. You can say like that. It's a rotation through which a species retains satisfactory vigor of growth and reproduction on a given site. So it is not going to be as lengthy as the physical rotation because you have seen that it retains satisfactory vigor of growth and reproduction. So that is very important. It can there is another a rider or a tag or a better description given here. It can neither be lower than the age at which trees start producing fertile seed. That means you cannot cut it beyond that. So when only after the trees start producing fertile seed in sufficient quantity, then only you can think about going about what to say fixing its rotation or production period, nor beyond the age when they stop doing so. So that is the rider here regarding silvicultural rotation. So that is why it said it is a rotation through which a species retains satisfactory vigor of growth and reproduction. Okay. So usually this type of rotation is applicable in the case of aesthetic as well as recreational forestry. Technical rotation. Rotation under which a species yields the maximum material of a specified size or suitability for economic conversion or for a special use. So here, while explaining the most classical examples or scenarios are the energy plantation. What is an energy plantation? An energy plantation is a plantation that has been raised to meet the fuel wood demands. So the moment it puts in a desired size, then you will say that it is ready for harvest. Or you are planting you have designed a plantation or you have raised a plantation for production of pole size timber. So you know you have fixed the exploitable girth there. That means as soon as that reaches that particular exploitable girth, then you are fixing the rotation. So such scenarios are known as technical rotation. So it aims at producing the maximum material of specific dimension, quality, or specific purposes such as railway sleepers, saw logs, mine props, transmission poles, matchwood, paperwood, etc. So depending on the requirement, what is your requirement, then you fix the technical rotation. As soon as that crops achieve that particular criteria, then you are going for harvesting it, and that is known as technical rotation. It is basically applicable to industrial forestry. So what is industrial forestry? Industrial forestry is you are raising a plantation for industrial purposes, connection with the industries like paper, pulp production and all. You are raising a plantation, and the company and the foresters will decide mutually decide what is the exploitable size at which it has to be harvested. So that is a classical example of technical rotation. Now, rotation of maximum volume production is more familiar with foresters, because that is what we usually follow with regard to our all our even age plantations. Teak plantations are the classical example which follow the rotation of maximum volume production. So it is this rotation that yields the maximum annual quantity of material. That is the age at which the MI and MAI culminates. Okay, or the age indicated by the point of intersection of CA and MAI curves. So when that intersection happens, we fix that age as the rotation age, because it is the age at which the maximum volume production has been achieved as far as the particular forest stand is concerned. So this advantage of this rotation is that it yields the largest volume per unit area per annum, and is an important rotation which is adopted frequently as such or in combination with some other rotation. Rotation of highest income revenue. So it basically focuses on highest income, highest revenue. It is also known as forest rental, this particular rotation. It is this rotation which yields the highest average annual gross or net revenue. It is connected with forest economics, irrespective of the value of the forest. It is calculated without interest and irrespective of time. So that is the speciality of forest rental or rotation of highest income revenue. Now, the last one is financial or economic rotation, again connected with a lot of economics, bookkeeping, accounting of the, and it takes into account all the expenditure involved, and trying to balance it, the revenue and all. So, rotation which yields the highest net return on the invested capital. So it differs from the rotation of the earlier rotation of highest net income or forest rental, in that all items of revenue and expenditure are calculated. Now, that is why I said it is a balancing act between the revenue as well as the expenditure. What you put in and what you are getting it are calculated with compound interest at an assumed rate, usually the rate at which the government is able to borrow money. So it is a rotation where a lot of things are connected. This rotation gives the highest discounted benefit, and if you look at the look in terms of profit and all, this is the most profitable rotation. That is, a financial or economic rotation is the most profitable kind of rotation that can be practiced.